Alright, there we go, boys. Oh my god. No! What is up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Litsa. Thank you for clicking this video. This channel is all about bringing you fun and competitive decks to play for all budgets and game modes, and that does include seasonal. If that's what you're into, consider subscribing at the end of this video. The season of the Wolf is well underway, and seasonal mode has been dominated with Northern Realms and Skellige Witcher decks so far that have proven to be absolute powerhouses. But to me that kind of grew stale, so I wanted to play something different that is more fun to play but still capable of winning a lot of games versus those Witcher decks. Now, most decks are running the quote-unquote OP Witcher package, and since Eskel, Lambert and Vesemir provide a bunch of deck thinning, I decided to make a Kolgrim deck that puts crap into your opponent's deck, thins out your own and wins round 3 with Kolgrim and Letho Kingslayer. But before we take a look at the deck, I want to highlight this comment from Stavros J real quick. He says he has been playing the Northern Realms Witcher deck I posted, and he has been playing it for days and has only dropped 2 games. The fact that you guys are playing the decks I am sharing on YouTube is absolutely amazing to me. It's great to hear you enjoy them, Stavros. Thank you for your comment and welcome to the channel. Now let's have a look at my Nilfgaard Kolgrim list for Trial of the Grasses. So just in case you didn't know yet, any unit that appears on the board in this seasonal mode gets damaged by 2 and then boosted by 4. Unless the unit is a Witcher, then it just gets boosted by 4. A lot of people are playing Witchers, and Vesemir Mentor is an amazing card that is played by almost any deck, together with Vesemir Jr., Eskel and Lambert. That is why we run the leader ability double cross, besides the fact that this leader ability is incredibly fun and rewarding to use. You can use double cross to steal another Vesemir Mentor, and you do want to use the leader ability when your opponent has 6 cards in his hand, so you have the best odds to get Vesemir Mentor from the leader ability. Another use is to save the leader ability for round 3 when your opponent has 3 cards left or less. Chances are you can play a second Geralt Earden, resetting both enemy rows, winning you the game. Now, I personally run the color stratagem since I always find good targets for it, mostly bronze cards that generates more Witcher students. However, feel free to use whatever stratagem you prefer. It's not important to the overall strategy of the deck, although it's very nice to have some locks included because the deck doesn't run a whole bunch of them. This deck is all about Kolgrim. He can boost himself by the difference between the number of cards in players' decks. Now, you can probably see where this deck is going, as we are going to make sure our deck contains less cards than our opponents. This also helps to increase the chances of finding Kolgrim and also gives our opportunity a bunch of crap in the deck, hopefully having them enter round 3 with stupid cards we put in there. Sounds pretty good, don't you think? There's only one thing that's better than Kolgrim, 2 Kolgrims, and that's what Letho Kingslayer is for. Then we run Portal, which is great tempo helping us win round 1 and getting cards out of our deck to set up our Kolgrim. And I put Roach in the deck as well, as he will reward me with getting the hell out of the deck when you play any gold card. Our furry friend Knickers is in there as well, which further thins our deck. Getting those units on the board is already good, but having them boosted in Trial of the Grasses makes them even better, especially taking the deck thinning into account and one of the damage being absorbed by the armor on Knickers. Roderick of Dun Tynne is another card that plays another card out of our deck in a single turn. So it widens the gap in the amount of cards our deck has compared to our opponent. And Viper Witchers help us increase the gap even more by putting hopefully crap cards in your opponent's deck. So be sure to use these on not so valuable units. Coated Weapons does the same. Just be careful with the cards, as shuffling powerful cards in your opponent's deck might backfire, although the removal can come in handy. I usually play Viper Witches first to get stuff in range for coated weapons later on. The Infiltrators literally infiltrate your opponent's deck at the end of the round. They are ideal to use when you've lost round 1 and are receiving a dry pass in round 2. They are also the reason you should always play Portal on the melee row. If you can, craft the golden version of this card, as it's absolutely beautiful. The Viper Witcher Adepts are mini Kolgrims that help us rack up some points, while also being good for proficient units that are also good being pulled by Portal. Speaking of Portal, we do run a fair amount of 4 provision units so that their Portal doesn't whiff if we draw into it later on. The Nauzicaa Sergeants are very decent for their provision cost because we do in fact play a lot of cards with the deploy ability. Now we do run Artefact Compression, as resetting the power of a unit is very useful in Trial of the Grasses, and locks usually find a good target since we are not running that many. The prime example being Bear Witcher Quartermasters of the Skellige opponents. Selective Mutation is of course very good, helping you get the specific cards you need. throwing some Witcher apprentices under the bus in the process. The dynamic Witcher trio obviously has their place in the deck, since they thin the deck by a lot and are usually worth 24 points when played after Vesemir Mentor comes down. Of course, Vesemir Mentor is also in the deck because he is in fact part of the OP Witcher package, which is run by virtually anybody in this game mode. Geralt Quen is an awesome addition as well. Just like Selective Mutation, he helps you find that Vesemir Mentor or the dynamic Witcher trio when you need it. Now, there are 3 more cards in the deck, the first one being Letho of Gulet. He is actually a high tempo card since his body is worth 8 power without the boost, so that's 15 power if you take the 3 damage deploy ability and the seasonal boost into account. And to be honest, the lock also comes in handy most of the time. And the list is completed by Serrit and Auckes, who function well with Letho of Gulet. You always want to play Letho before you play Serrit and Auckes, and they just work well with a thinned out deck. So that's enough talk, let's get into a game. Alright, Northern Realms Witcher deck, come at us. Might be some shield wall version. Not sure why you would give something a shield. So we are getting rid of Knickers. Like Nauzicaa Sergeant doesn't do a whole lot. And there are still, well, maybe we should get rid of Letho Kingslayer, because we only want him in round 3. This works. You can use Geralt to pull out the Witcher trio. No, he is thinning his deck. Like, I'm always so confused when Portal summons Roach, because before the rework it used to be like a bronze 4 provision card, and now Roach appears on that spot. Always gets me. Alright, not too bad, not too bad. Decent Auckes target. Maybe even a decent Artefact Compression target. Probably a good Artefact Compression target. That took away quite a few points. I actually like Ivo of Belhaven a lot. Like at the end of our turn, like the Viper Witcher Adept always triggers, right? Because we both took 1 card out, but we started the game, so we play one first. Doesn't really matter if you play the Nauzicaa Sergeant or the Viper Witcher Adept. Let's see if he has something funky in his deck to deal with this. It triggers because we have Roach. What? What is he doing? This isn't your typical Witcher deck. Does seem quite strong, actually. So now that Vesemir Mentor is out, Double Cross will probably be best used on his last 3 cards on the last round, because Geralt Earden will probably be in there. This is kind of an annoying card. Doesn't do a whole lot, at least the luck doesn't, but it's just strong. He purified the Viper Witcher Adept. Alright. That ain't super strong, but sure. Like, it could have purified Ivo of Belhaven, that would probably have been a better play, because that would have been like 2 points a turn. Just don't mess up the adrenaline part of Vesemir mentor, guys. We could also see if he has like Vesemir, Eskel or Lambert in his hand right now. But then what would we use Geralt Quen on? Well, we can always save it to get us a Kolgrim later on. There we go, some extra points on the board. Actually, the melee row is kind of getting crowded right now, but we still have the Infiltrator. This might actually be a good point to pass, because we are ahead and he still needs to play another card, so we will lose, but we will be 2 cards up. He will probably dry pass on round 2, and then we will end up starting round 3 and having last say. Because we will start, but we will have an extra card. Also, Infiltrator is great when you dry passes. Yeah, because Northern Realms wants long rounds, right? I think this is the right play. Like, he wins, but we still have our leader ability as well, but so does he. Kind of nice to have Auckes and Serrit. If he dry passes, this will be the best card. We don't want Kolgrim yet. Yeah, this is good. This is good. The only thing that would really suck... Oh, we get to choose. We can play Roderick, and then for sure we can pick Letho. Sure. There we go, just as we predicted. Here you have some bullshit card in your deck. So now we enter round 3 with 1 card over our opponent. So we have last say, which is great. And we still have the leader abilities to steal his Geralt. Alright, this is interesting because Roderick will pull Kolgrim now, which is very important for us. We already have Letho Kingslayer, we have Auckes, Serrit and Letho in our hand, which is kind of nice. We have draw an adrenaline card of your choice. We will actually end this game with 0 cards in our deck. It's kind of cool. And there's a lot of moving parts, but it's kind of cool. The only thing that is awkward is that we do not necessarily have like a great opening play, because a lot of our stuff is reactive, so we should probably go with Selective Mutation just to get the Viper Witcher into our hand out of our deck. No, that totally didn't work out. I forgot how that card worked. Yeah, we will log that, no problem. And do some damage in the process. Like, at this point, like, Viper Witcher already has the adrenaline. But this will be boosted by a lot, otherwise it would have been a great coated weapons target. Or we can use Auckes on it to lock it, because there might be more of them. Eh, I guess. It's very cool we got Auckes, Serrit and Letho. You always want to open with Letho because it gets boosted if you have them both in hand. Right, now I sort of wished I still had luck for this guy. It's fine. And we're trying to get this down to 5 health so we can use coated weapons and get the death blow. So we put another Watcher student in the deck. It's kind of annoying because this is kind of a strong card. Right, first of all, get rid of this. I sort of want to play double cross now. Right, that was a super shitty hand. At least we get the Viper Watcher out. And we'll get the damage on a stranger, so she stops buffing, which kind of helps. I don't think he has used a single Royal Inspiration tick in this game. I don't think this guy realizes he is running Royal Inspiration right now. Alright. Let's mess with his positioning a bit. But it's Kolgrim time, guys. You always want to put your first and second Kolgrim on different rows. Because he is not having Geralt Irden in his hand right now. But you will face a lot of Geralt Irdens. He used it. Has he been using it? It's a good thing I'm recording because I don't recall him using his Royal Inspiration at all. This got big all of a sudden. Ah, I see what you're trying to do. It's not really working out for him because he has nothing at 7 health. He probably miscalculated. But we did not. To the moon! And we can still use the Serrit to damage something that ends up having 7 health. Alright, we're good. Don't even need to play the card. Alright, it is a mirror match, which is actually kinda cool because we've been facing Northern Realms and Skellige Witcher decks a ton. He is denying our fun. Getting rid of those boys. It's actually kind of an awkward hand because we have both Kolgrim and Letho. And we spent all our mulligans on getting Knickers and Roach back in the deck. So I don't want to play all cards this round. You sort of have to win round 1 or 2. Like, that's actually a pretty big weakness of this deck. It's just that nobody playing Seasonal right now is trying to bleed on round 2. Like, it's usually stuff like Monsters doing that. And Monsters is totally absent. In Seasonal, at least. Alright, that does tell us there is a big provision card. What's 13 provisions. Alright, it gets boosted too, so there's something with 9 provisions on top. Right. Never mind, I have not said a word. Actually, it would be a good target for... well, not coated weapons, it would be a good target for what's the name? Artefact Compression, which is in her hand. I just love it when people play Auckes and Serrit. Like, actually our hand is like totally bricked. We don't want this, we don't want this. This doesn't get this deploy. Because we don't have Auckes and Serrit. It's totally trash. Luckily we have some horses in our deck. This guy is taking his time. By the way, you should totally, if you're going for the Alzur's journey, or any journey for that matter, totally go with the journey avatar thing. Because it gets completion on the contracts, which will get you keys, so you can get more cards, cool stuff. Yep, we're seeing that a lot. Kind of wish we had a lock in our hand. Man, this hand is totally bricked. I really need to pass quite soon. Maybe we'll play a Viper Witcher and then pass, because this hand is absolutely terrible. It's just... there's actually nothing, so we're not gonna win round 1. Which is fine, because he's playing Serrit and we can't do anything about it. So that would have given him a card, so he would have had less say in round 3. Which is kind of bad for us. This is probably the worst to put in this deck. And we're doing alright. Still needs to play a card to win, so we can't do too bad. Like, we are actually facing a Kolgrim mirror. Oh god. We're just loading his deck with Viper Witcher Mentors and see how far that gets us. I haven't played this mirror yet in seasonal mode. It's actually hilarious. Like, we're both trying really hard to shuffle cards into each other's deck, and we will probably both get nowhere spinning our wheels. Oh, awesome stuff. Like, literally the only difference in our decks is probably like we're playing double cross to have fun and he is playing lockdown to have us have no fun at all. Like, we could pass or we could play Vesemir Mentor. which will still get us ahead. We could play the Viper Witcher Adept. I'll get us some points. Like, we do need to save this for... This is screaming Geralt Igni to me, but... Move a card from your opponent's graveyard to the top of their deck. Actually a pretty interesting choice. Like, we're both running different versions of the same deck, like we're both trying to accomplish the same damn thing. Just like, the result of this match will probably come down to who can lock each other's Kolgrim first, or reset it. It will come down either to an Earden or to a lock. I'll take this. It will get it will get him a card, which is horrible because he will have last say. That really sucks. Maybe we should actually all in on round 2. Alright. Let's go all in on round 2. Can we do that with this hand? I can't break this hand anymore. Like, if I draw like Eskel or Lambert, we're done, right? We do have our combo pieces. Like, it won't be a big Kolgrim because the difference in cards will be very small. But he might actually misplay. Because... I'm not sure, I'm just hoping he will misplay. This guy is gonna end up with such a great amount of Viper Witcher mentors in his deck. So we play Vesemir, Kolgrim, Letho, Serrit. We don't have any locks. He has an extra card. What is happening? Well, he's taking his time for sure. That's something that's happening. He expected me to give him a dry pass. Probably. Well, this deck doesn't really want to play long or short. Just wants to play at 5 or 4 adrenaline or 3. What? He put the Knickers in my deck? That will come out. Probably in this round, right? Yeah, there we go. Like, like, you don't get to choose what card you put back in, right? Actually, the fact that we are getting the Witcher trio in this round is huge. Alright, there we go, boys. Moment of truth. I actually think, like, the golden version of this, these guys look super slick. Oh my god. We have more Kolgrims. He hasn't golden though. Skins get wins. Actually looks super cool. Like, but if you can't lock our Lethos or Kolgrims. No. We both have one. This match is super fascinating. Does he have a lock? If he has another lock, like we're done. We have quite a lead. No! We're done! We're done, guys! It's coming down quite a bit later. Oh, he has the spores too. Oh, so close. That was actually hilarious. We both ran out of win conditions. Like, what's left? Like, this doesn't do a thing. Like, this just summons 4 precision unit to the right. Like, after we're done passing. Which is super bad. No, no. Like, we actually get to play. Oh, we can play the Witcher Adept on turn 2. Like, his Viper Witcher Adept won't go off because he has a lot more cards in his deck than we do. Oh shit. Yes! This is so huge to have like a small card on top of our deck. Like, do we play the Viper Witch Adept now? It will go off twice, but we will miss a deploy ability, right? Or do we play something else? We do play a Witcher, right? We have a lock, like this will go to 6. This will give us 7 points, actually. Viper Witcher. The Viper Witcher will give us more bleeding ticks than the Viper Witcher Mentor. Will give us boosts. Like this actually might summon a Viper Witcher Adept, which would be good. No! Would we get another unit? Yes! No, we got him! That was so cool, that was so weird. Like 2 Kolgrim decks facing each other, going all ham in round 2. Well played, sir. Wow, I hope you guys enjoyed those games. I hope you guys will enjoy playing the list as well. Like I said in the intro, it is less powerful than the Northern Realms and the Skellige Witcher decks. But in my opinion, it is way more fun to play because you make a lot more meaningful decisions. You will find the deck list in the comments below. Make sure to either subscribe to the channel or like the video. Make sure to upvote the deck list on the Gwent deck library as well. At the time of recording this video, I am at 97 subscribers, so we will likely pass the 100 subscriber mark, which is actually amazing. Please let me know in the comments below if you are the 100th subscriber of the channel. This will probably be my last video on the trial.
Now watch this.
But if you hit the notification bell, you will be notified when I continue the series on the budget decks, and of course when we start playing the next season's seasonal mode in Gwent. Thank you a ton for watching this video. I will see you guys in the next one.